guys. I just got let go from my job. I wasn't expecting that this morning.
I walked into work, it was a normal day. I was even in a good mood. I was offering people coffee. Come on in, do you want a coffee? You alright? My spirits were up. The next thing, I'm getting called into the office and I was escorted off the premises. I fully looked and felt like a convict. This is not the...
So I lost my job today.
Do something with it.
It's just money coming to me easily. Money coming in and needing me. Money coming in repeatedly. Money coming, it's just money coming. It's just money coming to me frequently. Money coming.
Hey guys, welcome back to All Things Jenny. I'm Jenny. So people are getting fired and or laid off from their jobs. And a lot of jobs are actually using TikTok as an example or a reason to lay you off. So you got to be very, very careful. Trust me, I would know because I almost got fired from my job over TikTok. And I know I'm 100% know who that person who reported me to the manager or to HR, and they know who they are. And one of those people, it wasn't just one, it was about 3 people, and one of them was a black man, trust me, and he reinforced that I need to go to that office. They need to talk to me. They either need to fire me or have a serious conversation and have me re-sign the company policy. And I understood that because I knew I was doing something wrong, even though like there was nobody showed on the videos. I wasn't talking about the company. I didn't even show like the logo of the company, but they were able to see pictures.
If you work in healthcare, do not talk to your friends, your family, no matter how much you trust them, about your job and specifically about issues that you are having with patients. I just found out about a girl on a social media thread who lost her job because of one stupid mistake. Let's call the nurse Becca and let's call the patient Amber. Nurse Becca knew exactly who patient Amber was when she came in for surgery. The connection is that the nurse had either dated in the past or was currently dating someone that the patient was connected to. I think it was her baby's dad. After surgery, one of the patient's friends calls her and is like, girl, your entire My Chart, all of your businesses, we can see it's on the nurse's close friends. Sends the patient a screenshot. Apparently, she lost her license. I'm not saying that you have to be in any uncomfortable situations that you don't like. I can think of right now of at least 5 people that if they came into my office or tried to be a patient, I would be like, absolutely not. If you can't maintain a professional boundary with somebody, you shouldn't be in their chart. You shouldn't be their nurse, period. And your close friends are not a safe space when you work in healthcare. Whenever you hit post, just assume that whoever works in HR, whoever owns whatever business you work at, whoever is the CEO of the hospital, just assume that they're watching because they probably are. Shout out to that nurse girl. That's where I saw this story and I'm gonna tag her below.
I got laid off today. And the entire time I'm just like, in my mind, I'm like, this is all a part of God's plan. This is all a part of God's plan. Like, yeah, it's sad, but it's also like, I can't be sad if it's God's plan. Like, it's written already. This is just a part of God's plan. And I have to accept that. And I did accept it. I was just like, you know what? No tears. Like, I haven't cried because there's nothing to cry about. Like, this ain't the first time I've had to face something like this. But I think what's different between now and those other times is I'm equipped to deal with it. You know, mentally, emotionally, spiritually. My faith is built for it, tough babes. There's no breaking me down. And honestly, I like this energy. Like, I call it the sink or swim energy, where it's like you're either going to sink and be sad or you're going to swim and flourish. And I'm a swim and flourish type of girl. So I like this energy because it always pulls out like this monster in me, like this hella driven, hella focused, hella disciplined, like I only see the finish line version of me, and I love it. I'm excited. I really am. I'm excited to see where this next step is going to take me. And I'm excited to share the process with you guys. Honestly, like I share everything else with y'all, so might as well share this part too. That's the life update. I got laid off, but now I'm a full-time content creator, and that's my dream. So let's just fucking do it.
Hi guys. I just got let go from my job. I wasn't expecting that this morning. So I'll be fine. I worked for Midday Squares in marketing. They had to like let go of the marketing division, which is fine. It just like came as a bit of a shock. I'm a strong believer that everything happens for a reason. Able to maybe make more TikToks and create more content for you guys. Oh, I'm gonna miss it. I'm really gonna miss it. It was amazing. And I've learned so much in the past, like, 8 months. I'm still in the parking lot. I haven't moved because I actually don't know how I'm gonna drive home. But yeah, I just wanted to share that with you guys and just, like, be really real. This is life. And, you know, you gotta get up and keep grinding. If anyone's hiring in marketing, anyone knows anyone that's hiring a marketing specialist, I'm free. Onwards and upwards from here. Okay, bye.
Don't post about your job on social media. A lot of companies have been doing layoffs in the past 6 months. My company did them, and I'm seeing a lot of people on here posting about getting laid off, or people who have not gotten laid off, just in general posting about their job. And a lot of people post things like funny videos about not working, doing the bare minimum. And while I think all those things are funny, and I'm definitely a person who values a huge work-life balance, don't do it. It's all fun and games until your coworker who doesn't like you that much sees the video and decides to send it to your manager. There have been people on this app who have posted about their job and ended up getting fired for violating some sort of rule or posting something that rubs somebody the wrong way. A lot of people think they're going to become like this corporate influencer, and there are a lot of people who are successful at that, but the vast majority will not be. Don't jeopardize your livelihood for some views on TikTok.
I got a random meeting on my calendar. I hope I'm not getting fired. I will die. Someone else is in there. I'm getting fired. Oh my god, I'm getting fired. Hello.
Good morning, Edgar.
Good morning. How are you?
Fine, thank you. I asked, who I think you know, to join us for this call. She's our HR representative. We've got some updates we'd like to share with you this morning.
Okay.
While we originally believed that we would be integrating we've instead determined that it was best for us to refocus the agency. Unfortunately, as you may know, the lack of growth and the decline in our client revenue has negatively impacted our business beyond what we can sustain. And it's forced us to make what are very difficult decisions to eliminate roles within the agency.
Company that laid me off called me to see if I wanted to come back. This wasn't on my 2024 bingo card, but being laid off wasn't either. Yesterday, my old boss's boss called me. I saw her name on caller ID, and I was shocked to say the least. But like, how could I not answer? So I answered, and she asked if I would be interested in possibly coming back. Mind you, I was laid off October 25th. Today is December 6th. The offer would be I could come back, retain my tenure, I wouldn't have to pay back my severance, a promotion with higher pay, 10% increase to be exact. I definitely have some thoughts on this. I am really curious what you guys would do. Drop a comment and let me know.
Oh my goodness, guys, you won't believe what happened the other day. So somebody messaged me in my DMs and asked me, Vanessa, why don't you show your luxurious life? Why don't you show your car? Why don't you show your houses? Why don't you show your jewelry, your shoes, your bags, your man? And I was like, wait, hold on. First of all, who told you I have any of these things? And second of all, it's actually none of your business. Guys, when you are at a certain level in your career, making a certain amount of money and posting on TikTok, you actually need to have some level of awareness to the internet and some sort of smart movements, because colleagues see your content, people that you work with see your content, and you need to be careful because that's where jealousy comes in. Honestly, it's there, you can't hide from it, and honestly, your colleagues can make you lose your job. TikTok can make you lose your job, so please be careful with what you share online because it's actually a trap. Anyways, that's enough for me. See you soon.
So I lost my job today. Very unexpectedly, I logged on to work this morning after being off for a week and out of town with my daughter for a dance competition. Totally expecting that meeting to be kind of a catch-up session with my boss. And this lady hops on that I don't recognize. Now, we just hired somebody, and I believe today's her first day. And so I naively, for a moment, thought, this must be the new girl, because she was going to be part of our team and report to the same manager as me. So I thought, maybe this is a formal introduction or, what have you. And lo and behold, the new person that was on the call was actually HR. My boss was a little late to the call, and when she hopped on, she was visibly disturbed. I could tell she was really uncomfortable, and I immediately said, "What's up?" And she rattled off a few things in probably under 30 seconds and then hopped off the call and let HR take the rest. Now, I've been in leadership in the past. I've been a boss. I know the deal. So I'm not totally surprised by how the call went. What I'm super surprised about is their reasoning for letting me go. So supposedly my performance hasn't been up to par. But interestingly enough, I had an annual review 2 months ago, and despite not getting a very big raise, I did get a very good review. Matter of fact, my boss rated me higher in every single category than I rated myself. That was just 2 months ago. So I'm super confused. I got most of my crying out earlier, but it might happen again on this video. I'm really just here to vent because I'm frustrated and I'm scared. The job market is terrible. I have about $6,000 in monthly expenses, and they only gave me 1 month severance. I have things I can do to fall back. That's not what I'm here for. I'm here to really, besides vent, talk about looking at the brighter side. Today's July 15th, 2024, and I stumbled across digital and affiliate marketing a year ago, almost a year to the day. And I didn't do anything with it for several months. And then when I did start doing things with it, I was really struggling with balancing my day job, my teaching job, and then also trying to get a business started. So maybe this is the doorway that will allow me to really focus on my business. I have 2 businesses actually. The first niche is the wealth niche, which is sharing my story, sharing my journey, and providing people references and links to the products that I purchased and used to develop my business. The other is my actual business, which is related to dance. And I've been in the idea phase for a lot longer than I initially intended. And that's just, I think a lot of that has to do with fear. It means so much to me. And the thought of failing is really scary. But now the thought of being homeless is really scary. I'm a single parent with 2 kids, and $6,000 a month in expenses is a lot of money, especially when I only have 1 month severance. And, the job market right now is terrible. When I got this job, it took 2.5 months, that process. So I'm trying to give myself today to feel all of my feelings and all of that stuff, but that time crunch is no joke. So I guess this is yet another restart post for me to get back into focusing on my business, because I am going to need not just another source of income, but a source of income. And I think before I took it for granted that, I have a job and I can take my time, and now I don't have that. So yeah, that's that. If anybody else is in this boat, I sympathize with you, and it sucks. And I hope that everything works out for you, whatever that looks like. But I guess I need to hit the pavement and start really focusing on my business. Of course, I'm going to be looking for another job as well in the meantime, because you can never have too many eggs in the basket. But I got to get started. So this is day one of being unemployed and trying to forge forward. So if you have any suggestions, anything that may have helped you, whether it's getting a new job in the market, or if it's, you know, if it was a situation like this, I know there's a few people that I follow that this exact thing happened to them and they were successful as a result, and I hope that's me. But if you have any suggestions or advice to give or any kind words, I am totally open to those. Have a great day.
Guys, I got fired from my job. I walked into work, it was a normal day. I was even in a good mood. I was offering people coffee. Come on in, do you want a coffee? You're right. My spirits were up. The next thing, I'm getting called into the office and I was escorted off the premises. I fully looked and felt like a convict. This is not the story you think it is, by the way. This happened last year. So this time last year, I unexpectedly got fired from my job. I just did not see it coming. I've never been fired from a job in my life. I was really good at my job. I only ever got good feedback. I remember I was even saving up to move out just a few months after. Then yeah, one day I walked in and I was walked straight back out. Even though I was really good at my job, I didn't necessarily like my job. I worked in HR for about 3 years. So I knew my stuff. It was something that I could do, but I wasn't really passionate about it. Some mornings I'd wake up and I'd just be like, looking for the nearest bridge to just jump off. I always knew that I wanted to pursue influencing or content creation, just anything in the social media space, but I really never would have had the courage to like actually quit my job to start pursuing that. So before then I was just doing it part-time, like I'd film sometimes on the weekends. At that point I only had like what, 6,000 followers or something like that. At this point I was like, you know what, let me just not go back to work, try pursuing content creation full-time and see what happens. If there was going to be any time that I'd try it, it would have been then. So literally as soon as I got fired, maybe like just a week or two after, I got snatched up by my agency. Like I said, I didn't even have 10,000 followers. I had like 6k, but my agents just said that they, you know, thought I had potential. Clearly my agent could see something that I couldn't, because in a year I gained 120,000 followers. So when I signed to them this time last year, I had 6,000. And now I'm on 126,000, like, which is a great achievement. So yeah, now social media is my full-time job. I'm a full-time content creator, way happier, earning way more than my job. And it all just happened in the right way. I definitely plan to keep going, of course. I think TikTok's going great, but my Instagram, guys, I need you to follow me on Insta as well. That's like my next thing. I want to build that up too. But yeah, this is literally your sign to just go after your dreams and go after what it is that you want, because it's so achievable, more achievable than you think.
So I was fired today and wanted to come on because I feel like, number one, this happens to a lot of people, and I was really blindsided by it. The reason I wanted to come on, number one, is because I feel like this happens to a lot of people, and it's like shocking and a lot to process. You know, you work for a company with people for a long time, and then to like just get a Zoom, or like, this was like a random meeting put on my calendar and it only showed like my manager on it. I didn't know like the HR person was gonna be on too, and then they just like said it very kind of coldly and then they just read out like the severance stuff and just said like, you know, it's your last day, effective immediately, and then just like log off, and you're just kind of like, what is happening? And I think the problem for me is, so they said it was because of a conflict of interest, and essentially at the start of the year, my husband, who worked at the same company as me at the time, he quit because he didn't, you know, he wanted to pursue other things. And at the time, I remember them being really pissed about it because my husband is really good at his job. He's really good at sales, and they just kind of lost this really great salesperson. So they were blindsided by him leaving. And then one day randomly, my manager called me. It was like, you know, how's it going? You know, normal conversation. And then he goes onto, like, completely blindsides me, and he's like, so where's Tanner going? And I'm like, I don't know. Like, he's just figuring out what he wants to do. We have a couple real rental properties, and I was like, he's gonna work on, like, managing them, and yeah, like, I don't know, that was, like, it. I just said he's doesn't know what he wants to do yet. He just wants to change, like, what he's doing. And then he's like, well, you know, if he ever works at one of our competitors, then that's good, and you guys live in the same household, that's gonna be a real problem. And I'm like, okay. It was just a really uncomfortable situation, and I felt like my job was being threatened at the time. So I get off the call, tell Tanner about it, and he's like, what the fuck? He didn't have, you know, the balls to ask me directly about what I'm doing. Like, no questions about it to him when they had a conversation on the phone. But he'll go to my wife and try to get information out of her. So that just set him off. So we reported that to HR, had a conversation about it, and yeah, I mean, it was fine, moved on. I, like, reviewed the handbook and everything, and it didn't say anything about, like, you know, family or spouse working at another company. So flash forward to, like, April, May, and Tanner came out on LinkedIn and said he's working at this adjacent company now, and I'm guessing that's what set them off, because I got let go because of a conflict of interest. And it's because my husband works at a competitor company. My husband, not even me. And I'm just trying to process this. So, like, I went back to the handbook, and they added that your family cannot work at a competitor. Your family cannot work at a competitor. What?
So a bitch lost her job today. Okay, wait, just hold on now. I was going to leave anyway, so it's okay. Everybody kind of already knew that I was going to leave anyway. I was just kind of waiting on some stuff, and the timing of me losing my job is God. And if you watch my lives, you know why. But guys, I've been training my entire life to do fashion content, to do beauty content, to do commentary, to do all of that my entire life. Everybody says that this is what I'm made to do. Ever since I was 12 years old, everyone said this is what I was made to do. So you know what? I kept asking God for an opportunity to do it. And I have 180,000 people, right? And I feel like I'm not feeding you guys enough. And I have the ingredients, but I have not been making the plate. It's time for me to make the plate, okay? I just wanted to tell you guys because we need to start talking more. Join my lives, you know? But I love you guys. May 16th, 2022. Full time for you. Love you.
And as most of you may know, a lot of your coworkers are not your friends. Maybe you don't know, but I'm telling you right now, a lot of your coworkers are not your friends. A lot of the people who basically reported me to manager or just sent the video, because I can't really be 100% sure because the video was saved and shared and reposted everywhere because it went viral. Like, I had like 2 million views in that video, and it was like a scary, spooky video. But I was in the hallway, and they recognized the pictures that are in the hallway, even though there was no face, no patient's faces, or the company name. None of that was in the video. But because I was in the hallway and they recognized that hallway, it was a problem. And that is the reason why I did not get fired, but I got spoken to. And also I had to sign a paper saying that I would never do it again. That's the reason why I don't tell like creepy stories from my TikTok videos from my job anymore. And I even tell some of my coworkers, like, you do not post videos from TikTok, because and guess what? Some of those same people also had TikTok, and they also created TikTok while at work, while literally in front of like medicine closets and everything, like taking things out. But of course, they had the right skin, so of course they were okay. But for me, trust me, it was like it was really like at that point I really needed my job, so I was like really afraid, and I stopped making TikTok videos. And you have to understand that these corporations are out there looking. That is the reason why I don't even post like random, like certain pictures on social media, because your company, or if you're looking for a job, they can go back and look at your pictures. So when I posted that video, I wasn't really thinking, but then I'm like, it can't be that bad because I don't show any like information that shouldn't be on the video, first of all. So when they called me and they talked to me about it, I was like, say less. You'll never see me posting any more TikTok at work